Hi, I'm Steveo the Gamer, and you're watching One Side of the Coin. Welcome to all our viewers for watching. With me, as always, is
MacAttack.
And tonight we have a very, very, very special guest, Camilla.
Hello.
She is an artist for Genesis Battle of Champions. Her artwork includes the Dusk Trail Mouse, Dark Corruption, the ever famous Sea Crate. Everybody loves the artwork on this one. And the most infamous one, the Gelada Baboon.
That's one of my favorites.
Yes, it is a huge fan favorite, not just for the artwork, but for the card itself and its abilities. Yes, welcome Camilla to our show.
Of course, it's nice to meet you.
Thank you. You as well. Let's get right into a little bit about you. So what got you into artwork?
I started doing art when I was about 5 years old, and I just started to make stories and create creatures. I got into doing a lot of dragons when I was much younger.
Okay.
And as I grew up, I was playing video games, watching movies, cartoons, Disney animations. I got very inspired by the artwork and decided that I wanted to be a video game artist.
Okay.
Or in the entertainment industry. So as I went on, I went into college to finish graphic design, and then I graduated with a diploma in graphic design. Afterwards, I started to do freelancing, and here I am. I'm doing artwork for Genesis.
Nice. Yeah. Artwork for Genesis, yeah. So, outside of just the artwork for Genesis, have you done any other major projects for?
Yes, I did some work for Capcom.
Capcom?
Yes, I did some Street Fighter pieces. I did chibi work.
Okay.
So I submitted that with Capcom, and they were recently just approved. So
nice.
They've been. They may show up in games or other medias. I've also worked with, let's see, I'm trying to think. Game art. I've mostly been doing some fan art for the most part. I did mostly the chibis that you'll see on my Instagram. I did the series such as Pokemon, Street Fighter, and I did some from Monster Hunter as well.
Nice.
So I've been mostly doing those as a way to practice my art and get better. So yeah, I've been mostly hitting up some art conventions during a couple of past years, and traveling around Canada to meet other artists as well to find some inspiration. So it's been a pleasure meeting every single one of them.
Nice. That is so awesome. So what would you say is your biggest inspiration for art?
My biggest inspiration would be from the video games that I play.
From video games?
Yes. Legend of Zelda is one of my personal favorite series, and there's an artist who did from Ocarina of Time, and the artwork inspired me quite so based on how much detail that they put into it. And I was drawn with the way they added comic book elements into it. So I felt like one day I know that I'll create a game guide or art book with my art pieces in it. And I just wanted to make something that I could inspire others with my art. So yeah, I thought as I continued on, I would learn as much as I could and inspire others.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. I know. So I remember I used to play. I'm not a huge video game fanatic myself. More into the card games and whatnot. But Street Fighter was a favorite of mine when I was younger. So I mean, I can understand where you can get a lot of inspiration from out of that too, the graphics and that. So Primarily, do you do mostly just like sketching, or are you working mostly for animated computer animation art?
So for the most part, I do most of my art on traditional. The art pieces that you see on Genesis are composed mostly by hand drawn first through sketch or inking, and then afterwards I carry it over to Photoshop and I begin digital painting it.
Digital painting,
Yes.
nice. Nice, beautiful. How long did it take you to do these pieces?
Oh goodness. I would say the Gelato Baboon took me about 10 hours in total, just because I needed to do thumbnail sketches and I needed to get the approval from the other art members that we were working with each other.
Yeah.
I needed to study the way the baboon worked in real life, and originally I did struggle a little bit to find the right angle to display it, but afterwards all I had to do was do the digital painting, like the paint over on it.
Like, yeah, you absolutely nailed it. It's like so well done. Like, I know for sure Sid has expressed how much he loves the baboon artwork, so I know he uses it as his picture on the Discord, right? So it's definitely getting around. So what's it feel like knowing very well that we play this game so often, and like this card, especially with the baboon, and that these cards being used on the battlefield when we're playing, right? Like, it's got your artwork on it. Like, how does that make you feel?
It makes me warm and fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy,
yes.
eh?
I'm more happy to be able to inspire others and have people smile like when they see the piece. So it gives me the joy that I can use a piece of my art to help with the game design and use it. So I'm really grateful.
Really grateful, yeah.
Very grateful.
So I know, like, especially, I got a water deck that's got Sea Crate in it. I don't use the Dark Corruption as much, but my mom, she plays Genesis, as I was telling you earlier, and yeah, when she first seen the card, the Dusk Trail Mouse, and she's like, oh my god, it's a little mouse, and she fell in love with this card, right, just because of the artwork, right? So I mean, like, that's, I can understand where you're coming from, how well that would be, like, a quick side note though, I have Idris on my shirt, and I need to give a very huge apology to Damian. I got too excited. My first package of the product that I ordered from him. So Idris is like my all-time favorite champion kind of thing. So I ordered some merchandise from a neighboring website or whatever, kind of like with what you have with your merchandise. But yeah, it finally arrived, and I was gonna wait and do it on a live stream to open up the packaging, right? But I just got too excited last night because the first one arrived. The other one hasn't arrived yet, Damian. We're still waiting on it, as well as the prints, etc.
Oh, I did message him. He did get back to me.
He did respond to you, okay. But anyway, yeah. So I just got overly excited because how much I like. Have you worked with Damian yet?
Yes, a couple times. He is the main critiquer, and he was the one that helped push me to further polish the Gelato Baboon.
Okay.
So I was working on it quite a bit, but the second that he gave me those critiques, it helped made the piece stronger.
Nice.
So I would have to thank him for that. And
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for all the artists that also helped out with the pieces that I've done. So yeah, it's been great.
It's been great, eh? Yeah, he is a phenomenal guy because I won the 2019 championship, and I got to work with him as far as creating a card for the game, the Necrolitch. So yeah, he just, between my son and I coming up with the concept and just relaying that to him, right? And I mean, he just nailed it, right? As far as the artwork for it, right? So and I know it's become a fan favorite. And yeah, so proud of the guy for what he's capable of doing, and I mean, so proud of you as well for some of the artwork. We can't wait. You're going to be working on future products or projects for Genesis? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
It's in the works.
it's in the works. Yes. So I know we'd love to see those sooner than possible, but I know it's unfortunate that we have to wait. Right? We have to have the patience, right? So I mean, that's one of my key things for when it comes to a card game is seeing the art and how the art reacts to what the card does, and it just amplifies, especially with this game in Genesis, right? To what the card's capable of doing, and the image that it gives off, right? And I mean, you guys are doing such a fantastic job on it. I love the artwork for this game so much. So, any questions, Mackenzie?
So there's a few questions, few comments. So we have John Rayner.
JC, hey JC, thanks for watching, buddy.
Dusk Trail Mouse is my favorite for many reasons. Go Capcom, any Mega Man.
Oh, JC, yes.
Yes, for Mega Man, I do have several pieces of Mega Man artwork that is on my Instagram. I actually did a piece for Yuji, who was the Capcom director for Mega Man 10, and that's the commission that I completed for him.
That's awesome.
Yes.
We have,
Real quick
Richard's
note,
other-
JC, by the way, he's one of the actual card designers.
Yeah.
So, actually, I don't know if he's designed. Carl did this one. Sid. Oh, yes. So, JC is the actual. So, John Rayner, he's the actual creator of the card, and he did the artwork for him. So, there you go.
That's awesome.
And that happens to be one of his favorite cards, right?
So fantastic.
EDH's life. Well, that's Richard. He
Richard.
says, "Ooh, Zelda. That's amazing. I'm a huge Zelda fan. Also, Street Fighter is sweet." We have Red Riot Games with Cam, best artist.
That's why I freaked out when you said Zelda. I was like,
Yeah, look, yeah, you can see I was like, what? And I was like, Zelda? He's like,
I'm listening live here, so it's a couple seconds. Like, why is he doing this big motion?
There goes our crazy tech guys. Mad shout out to Richard and Colin, who has returned with us this week. Thank you very much, guys.
Red Riot Games also, or he asked, by the way, when can Cam make chibis of the, am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Or
chibis.
Chibis?
Chibis, yes.
Of the Genesis cards.
That could be in the works potentially, but that's something I would have to discuss for sure.
Okay, I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to this. So, what's a chibi?
Yeah, what is a chibi? Isn't it
Yeah.
like a little like cutesy character?
Oh, there we go.
So like a miniature version of the champ, like a character or a creature.
Okay.
Much
Do you
more
know-
cuter, basically.
Do you know what
Cuter
like
version.
like Gacha life is?
Gotcha,
Maybe.
like Tamagotchi.
No, it's kind of different. You start with like a simple outline. They got like little bodies and like big heads.
Big giant
and
head.
then,
So it
like,
looks
you,
like
add
it looks
stuff.
like a Funko Pop
to
then,
it.
basically, but on paper.
Well, it's not like a Funko Pop. Like they have more like detail, like the eyes and that to them, and it's
Okay.
not, and it's like an actual like oval head this way, not an oval head this way.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gacha life I think would be a good example for a chibi.
So I think what you're saying is they're just epic.
They're
Yes,
epic.
yes.
Epic.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
just epic.
Awesome.
JC also says now I have to check out the Instagram for Mega Man.
You can definitely pop in my Instagram. If you guys are interested in following me on Instagram, you can check me out at Red Caliber.
Can always link that somewhere eventually. I got 2 more comments if you want to read them. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm confused. I'm sorry.
You have a bunch. What is the part of the lore that you love the most?
Who said that?
The lore.
The Red Riot Games.
Or did that one like just come in?
Yeah, it just came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was
so,
the other 3 above it.
So basically, what the lore is the storyline behind Genesis.
So I've only read about a page of lore from
Okay.
Genesis, but if there are more pieces of lore, I would love to read them so that I can incorporate those into my art design, and it would just make the card more impactful.
Yeah.
definitely.
So if you go to www.genesisbattleofchampions.com, so there's an actual Dropbox under the lore, and then all the codexes are listed there that you can read through them all, right?
Okay.
So if our viewers haven't had a chance to check that out, be sure to check it out. But yeah, I know Carl and Brad are both the authors and editors of the lore. So basically, they're transitioning Sid's mind onto into the story, right? So they're doing an absolutely amazing job. A lot of their it's broken down into chapters, and in each chapter there is a lot of reference to the cards and what they do in the game, like whether it's the summons or the spells and stuff like that. So they do talk about it a lot. So it's definitely a good way to get an expression for how you guys are making this art come to life, right? So
Of course.
it was awesome. But yeah, no, I mean it's can't get enough of the game. Keep up the great artwork, right? I mean,
thank you very much.
so I know you brought a sketchbook. So and you were showing us earlier. I wonder if you're able to show the viewers your original art for
Yes.
Secret.
So the secret. So this would be.
Look
Secret
at that,
design.
viewers.
This is the original inked drawing that I used for
That's
the
gorgeous.
secret,
Isn't
and
it?
then I applied this to Photoshop. Yep.
So much detail in that, eh?
Yeah, all
And
the scales.
that's inked, right?
That's
So
all
it's
hand drawn.
hand drawn, like absolutely amazing, right?
So that's one of the pieces there, and I have one more as well. Show. If I can find it. And here's the little industrial mouse as well that I did.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
Isn't it? Like how well she's captured that mouse, right? Like
And so much of that ended up in the final there.
yeah.
Yes, it did. Quite so. I wanted to make sure that all the pieces that I do for Genesis have some life into it. So by incorporating my hand-drawn pieces into the cards, it will feel like it has come to life. That's what I always want to do with each piece.
Nice. So on average, though, it's like so you say it takes about 10 hours just to draw it in that. So to go from start to finish, from when you get the concept and to when before it goes into production, like pretty much, right? How long does that usually take?
So from sketch to production.
Yeah. Well, or to approval, I should say, like.
So I would say it could take a few days. First, I have to make sure that I have the description and 3 thumbnails. And once I have those, then I will need approval from the art members. Afterwards, we will work with the final version and sketch it out. Then for me, I will start to ink the piece and then transfer this to Photoshop and then paint it over.
And then paint
And
over.
As I progress, I will be getting feedback from the artists to make sure that if there's any errors or inconsistencies, they'll let me know, and then I'll fix it along the way, and then it goes into final approval afterwards.
Nice. That's so amazing, though. So you also get to talk with the actual card designers as well, right? When working on the project?
For the most part, I usually work with the artists.
Just the main artist?
Yes. If the designers would like to include comments, they're definitely free to do so.
Okay.
But for the most part, they give us a description of what they have in mind for the card, and then we just draw based on what their description is. Yes.
So, question with saying that. So JC, who is the card designer for the mouse, I'm very curious as to what he had said about this, if anything.
Actually, I'm trying to remember if there was a description, but it was a mouse. Oh my goodness, I don't. I'm just trying to think.
It's okay.
I just thought of a white mouse. I thought it would stand out, and then I tried to. Oh yes, because I believe these symbols here, the colors.
Yes.
We have to make sure it's matching with the actual picture.
Yes. Yeah. So it was one thing I know, and Sid had described this to me as well. So basically, on the card itself, and within the game, there are different affiliations for the champions. So for each, he told me that for each of the affiliations, he likes to have the card that color, or as mostly of that color. So with the Sea Crate being blue, right, and it's for Axon, which is the blue affiliation. But however, Dusk Trail being Jailarian, which is only white, and then just making the mouse white. Yes. Makes sense. Yeah, I never really thought of that when it comes to the Jailarian ones. And of course, like with the baboon being a red baboon. And this one
was a promotional piece.
A promotional piece, yeah. So the Dark Corruption that has Rain, who is Chaos, and which it is a Chaos card. So
this would be my first piece that I entered into Genesis. So
the Dark Corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's my first piece I submitted to Genesis, and it was the first one that got approved.
So if you you go on her Instagram, she was showing us earlier the full art versions, which would extend past the text box of the card. Absolutely amazing. Like she drew this like so well, right? She was able to capture all the spirits around Rain. It's just absolutely gorgeous artwork. You must have had a lot of fun doing this one because it's actually got a champion on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was quite a little bit more time to work on it because I had to make sure all the proportions, anatomy are correct, the angles correct before completing it. But I would say it was fun to do champions, especially her. She was a ninja.
Yeah.
Ninja looking, so I like characters like that.
Like
so,
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did absolutely amazing. Plans to do any future champions?
If they give me a piece, definitely I'll take it up upon it.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm up for doing any kind of piece they throw at me. So up for any challenges.
Perfect. So yeah, hopefully if I ever win another champion, Shiv, I'll keep my fingers crossed. Maybe,
do your piece.
Definitely, I'll make the recommendation. So I know Damian did my first one. So, but I mean, I gotta win, right? So
Yes.
I just gotta keep playing the game. MacAttack, you got a question?
Yeah, we have a lot.
Oh, we got lots of questions. Here we go. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so, from Red Riot Games, what is a character you'd like to see in the game that isn't already in there?
A character that's not in Genesis.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Actually, like a champion? Or are they asking for a champion?
Just a character.
So I'm thinking champion. I'm trying to think. Is it a type of character or a class? We need more dragons.
Dragons there, yeah.
Dragons.
So yeah,
Dragons.
dragons for sure. For sure. We have the Zambira already, but yeah, to see more dragons in the game would be really interesting.
What new mechanic did they bring to the gameplay?
That has mechanics, and that's up to the design team as far as mechanics and whatnot. I mean, they're presently working towards a new set. I mean, as far as what they're going to bring to the game itself, as far as new mechanics, I mean, that remains to be seen.
JC again, what is Camilla's favorite art from the game that she has done?
Favorite piece. This is my favorite piece that I got.
The sea crate.
Sea crate. It's awesome.
She loves the sea crate. I know. It's like, well, seeing the ink sketch that she had done, I mean, it's like, I can understand why. I probably so much work into it. It looks gorgeous.
JC also said that looks beautiful. I'm assuming he said that to the inked sea crate there. And then he said, yes, Dust Trail Mouse. Brad C said amazing art. Red Riot Games asked, do you have a name for the mouse? And JC says, I think Camilla should officially give the mouse a name.
Oh, there we go, here we go. Viewers, you get to hear the name of the mouse.
I haven't come up with it.
She doesn't have a name for the mouse. But just looking at it, though, what would you call it?
Because it has like a little cut in its ear. I'll name it. I'm terrible with names.
This is terrible. That's okay. So the mouse remains nameless. It's the Dust Trail mouse, right?
I'll think about it.
Yeah. She'll think about it and she'll get back to us on that one.
Okay, JC says, I don't think I have my old description on that for the mouse. When we were talking about that. Alexander Miller goes, I have the description. Also Alex Miller. Dust Trail Mouse running along the shadows of a pillar at dusk. Brad C goes, I feel that the art really makes the game special. So many talented and hard-working artists in this game.
Right, exactly. Yes, thank you for that.
JC says, you are amazing, Alex. Replying to the other guy there.
Well, just the flavor text on the mouse. The shadows of dusk are a new day for sense. Or for some, sorry. I don't have my glasses on. The shadows of dusk are a new day for some. So, yes.
JC also says, as for Dark Corruption, I believe that was the one we had the art before the card and why we don't see as much of the color of the affiliation in it.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
And then Richard's over there asking what her Instagram is because he can't find it. Fans want to know / I can't find it with a little laugh face.
I'm a pretty good Googler and I can't find it.
Our tech guy is having technical difficulties.
I searched up Camilla K. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Camilla K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that easy?
Yes.
It's that easy.
It's all good.
So yeah, be sure to check out our Instagram. You have a website as well?
Yes, you can find me at camillacaldesigns.com.
Okay.
You can also reach me. You can also look at my Instagram at Red Caliburn as well.
Okay.
I do have a Twitter as well, so if you type in Red Caliburn, you will also find my social links on there too.
Perfect.
And yeah, those are all I have.
Yeah, I had a chance to view the one Sid had sent me before I had contacted you. Yeah, and it was just like, it took me so long to finally contact you because I was too busy looking at all your artwork on there. It was just like, I did. I got very distracted. It's like seeing all the other stuff outside of Genesis that you've done. And I mean, I have a huge interest in art and checking out different artists' stuff. So I mean, which is why I fell in love with like artists like Damian, who works for Genesis. In his artwork, but you definitely you're like right next to him now as far as what I've seen of outside. Like, is that sorry? Question?
No. Finish
Oh,
first.
okay. This is the way you look at me.
No,
like,
there's one to finish first.
so I mean, yeah. So I mean, it's not just Genesis alone that I appreciate the artwork, but all the other stuff that you do on top of it, right? It's just absolutely phenomenal, right? So it's But great, yeah. So we have a question, MacAttack.
Okay, so JC says, any pieces that Camilla is working on right now that she can spoil?
No, we are not going to spoil anything tonight. Sorry. Sorry about that, JC. It was by request not to spoil anything. So.
Oh, did he get back to you there?
Yes.
Yeah,
so.
okay. Alright.
Sorry. Maybe next time.
Brad C goes, I don't know if this was asked, I didn't see the start. What is your favorite medium to work with?
I would say pencil.
Pencil,
the
yeah.
most basic art tool that anybody can use. You can find it almost anywhere.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Pick it up and put it on.
It's really easy to get like detail with the pencil too, right? Little like fun lines.
My favorite pencil would be the mechanical pencil. You can just find it anywhere, any store, and use it. I use it to use shadowing and details.
I like just a normal like pencil, like wood pencil, but it makes me really mad when I can't get it to a really pointy tip and it just wants to mess up on the sharpening and it makes me so mad.
I would definitely invest in a mechanical pencil if you need some consistency with that.
I like working with pencil. Most of my drawings and that I've done with pencil. You know what? I should have brought a piece out to show you. I can show you after.
Of course.
Yeah. Pencil's always been my favorite, more so. But I had some paintings and that, eh? But.
Yeah, I know Grandma's got a piece in her place of an eagle that you.
I painted that, yes. Yeah. So, Nan, to your grandmother, the turtles. That's that big turtle one. I painted that.
Really?
Yes, I did.
It was in her dining room?
Yes.
The old place, really?
It's in our dining room now. I did that.
What's news?
My daughter doesn't even know. But anywho.
No.
So yeah, any other further questions?
Yeah. Well, Richard here asked, what is your process when you get a commission?
So would it be like character commission, creature commission?
So maybe I guess I'm talking about so you get a Genesis card, for example. How do you start off? What is the first step for you, and how do you get to the end step?
Okay, so we are given a list of pieces of artwork with descriptions in them, and we get to choose the ones that we like to work on. And of those, I usually pick the summons on the list there, and if it looks interesting to me, I'll start the process, and then afterwards I start to work with a description and find pieces through Google Images of that piece. So for example, for the gelato baboon, I looked up a lot of pictures. I go through YouTube to watch how they move, how their fur moves, things like that, and then I also look into textures as well to make it more realistic into the drawings.
Nice.
Afterwards, once I have an image gallery of all the concepts that I put together, then I start to work on the sketching and the thumbnails. Then I present this to the team. I ask them for their feedback on which one will fit best for the on the card.
Yeah.
And then we go through the process of polishing and rendering. Afterwards, then we get the final feedback from the art team if there's any other inconsistencies or errors that they spot. Afterwards, it gets approved and
then it's good to go.
It becomes a card, yes.
Nice, nice. It is a lengthy process, and I can imagine the amount of work that it goes through to get to the finishing product. Yeah, but
I would say that the research would take up the most of my time because I want to make sure that I study the anatomy, the textures, and the way the creature functions, for example, so that I can make a more realistic rendition of the animal or creature that I'm portraying. And so I would say that would be the most lengthiest part for me, is to make sure I get all of those pieces correct.
So what happens if you get something that doesn't exist? Because I know in Genesis there are a lot of summons that are
they're not of this realm.
Yeah, they're not in this realm. They're like really crazy.
Okay.
So how would you come up with a concept for that?
Okay, so let's say I was asked to do a dragon character for Genesis. The description is that it lives in the volcano.
Okay.
So what I would do is I look at the landscapes in real world, and get photographs of the volcano. Then I start to look at the fauna, the creatures that live on that island. Then I start to grab textures and descriptions of that area.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, then I think about, okay, dragons, for example, they have usually a head, face of a horse. So I use a horse model to design the dragon. I also have scales in real life. I have a pet. His name is Iggy. He's a blue-tongue lizard.
Nice.
And he has scales like a dragon.
Okay.
So I use him as my reference for scales, and it's accurate.
Very nice.
Then I apply that, and then I start to look into further of the description. What does this dragon do? Where does it live? How does it behave? Things like that will help me describe what the creature does, and it will help me decide what the shape of the creature would look like. Is it an aggressive creature? Is it a soft creature? Is it a small creature? A large creature? Epic creature? Anything like that.
Nice. I
take those descriptions into the design process, and then afterwards I would ask myself, if this creature were to live in this world, how would it function correctly the way it's given on the design piece?
Okay.
And then I would then further polish the design if I need to make any adjustments. Afterwards, I start to do the sketching phase, and then the inking, and then the painting phase. Afterwards, it becomes a completed piece.
Completed piece, nice.
Interesting to know that a horse head is used as a reference for
dragon. You never really realized that because it's got the longer snout, right? Kind of thing. So, but the way that the dragon's head comes up in the back, right? So it's
It's always good to look up different lizards in real life too, to use them as a reference to design them based off of
So did
the
you try
creature.
to match your pet on the art, like the facial features?
Some of it.
Somewhat?
Yeah, somewhat. I would take it into consideration, but it doesn't have to be absolute, right? So, because I know dragons, like, they have a very stylized design, so I have to take into consideration of maybe different creatures depending on the description of that dragon, because I don't know if it's an aggressive creature, a soft creature, cute creature. If I get those kind of descriptions, then I'll have to stylize it further depending on the description.
So basically what you're saying is you're not going to be immortalizing my awesomeness on any character.
Well,
Use my facial features. It'd make you a lot of money, I swear.
well, if it's a dragon human,
Oh.
If it's a dragon human.
You can use my face anytime. As long as it's for money making purposes, it's all good.
okay, I'll take that
boy.
into consideration.
Oh boy. Yeah. Should say that one for the blooper reel, but okay.
Heard it here first, folks. Heads or tails, game.
I got one last quick final question for you. How long have you been doing art?
Since I was 5 years old.
5 years old,
Yes.
Yeah?
It was my thing ever since. I watched cartoons. I picked up Pokemon as a child.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, and I was given the crayon. I was drawing on the walls, and my parents got really upset for me for doing it.
Parents, don't get mad at your children for drawing on the walls, because look what they can become, right?
So afterwards, I started. I wrecked my Disney books that my parents gave me. I remember that. It's still there. But eventually, we were asked to create stories when I was in kindergarten, I believe.
Okay.
And started from grade 1 to grade 2. They were asked me to draw pictures of stories, and that helped me define the style that we know today.
Nice.
Yes.
Ever think of like doing your own series, like say like of a graphic novel or comic books?
I did have one original character that I developed and his name was Animus. So this original character that I designed, he lives in a post-apocalyptic world where all the animals have vanished, and he's a genius in mechanics. He finds this book of animals and starts to read through it, and he doesn't really know how they function. He only has there's only pictures of them, no descriptions of them. So he incorporates this into his designs, and he builds his own world out of it, and uses those designs to help out this daily task.
Nice. That's a pretty awesome story.
It's one that I've been developing for a while, but I haven't got a chance to sit down and really develop the story and other characters in it yet. But that's the basic.
Could be something we see in the future then?
Yes,
most
it
likely.
could be.
Nice. That's something that I would definitely pick up. I mean, that's something to look forward to. Hopefully, you can become successful with it.
I love graphic novels. Picking up 5 of them. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, do you have any final questions from the viewers?
Yeah. Richard had asked, any advice for young artists just starting out in the industry?
I'm not young, and I'm not an artist.
Oh.
We'll put that out there.
Just in general.
So I would say practice. Practice as much as you could. Carry a sketchbook with you everywhere that you go. If it's a traditional sketchbook or ones that you use like on your iPad, get any kind of art program. If you want to use Procreate, that's fine too. Anything to help you get inspired and work towards a goal of what you want to draw as well. But I would definitely say make sure that you're practicing often, and you will see success in that field for sure.
Yeah, that was one discussion I had with when I first got introduced to Damian, and he was telling me some of his history and that carrying around his sketchbook all the time, right? And I remember doing that when I was in high school. Like I would just draw all the time, right? Because I used to love doing it. And having that sketchbook with you, right? So it's whenever you see something, a point of interest, or that it inspires you, right? And just start, sketching it out. Kind of thing. So it's unfortunate I lost a lot of my old sketchbooks and that. I think I still got a couple kicking around somewhere, but yeah.
It's also, I would say, good to also go to art conventions as well. So then you're able to display your pieces of art to the world, and it'll be, it's a way of like a rite of passing almost. It's it helps you get into the industry because you are exposing yourself to the world with your pieces of art. You're getting to interact with people, so you're building your social skills. Before that, I was not good at talking to people, so this helped me break the ice with people and help communicate better.
Nice.
Yes.
So for the art conventions, are you saying that for like seeing other people's art, or more like having other people view yours?
People viewing yours, but you can also meet with the other artists as well. Because you're in a table and you're next to each other, you're able to talk to each other and get some more insight about their pieces, and you get to connect with more people. So I think it's important to make connections with them, and if you ever want to do like a future convention, you can bump into them, say hello. So.
Well, we did vending at Anime North several times,
Anime North.
and yeah,
that's great. I want to go there.
Yeah, and they have the actual art gallery, right? So and it's the same with Fan Expo. I've been there several times. I never vended it, but we try to attend it every year when we can. But they also too have the art gallery, right? And just especially Anime North was so phenomenal, right? Just walking through, and all the artists have their pieces set up and that, and being able to view them and appreciate, right? So yeah, especially her, because she's huge into animation, right? So right now, but trying to teach her, she has. So there you go. Here's a perfect time to ask Mackenzie, because she has trouble with her art teacher. right? So, so we won't go too in depth with it, but so I mean, in an art class, when a teacher's telling you you have to do it a specific way, however, it's like you don't envision it that way, right? So you want to do it in your own expression, kind of thing. So, and one thing that I'm trying to teach her, it's like, okay, well, she wants you to do it this way, right? For a reason or whatever, to learn, right? Specific skills and whatnot, regardless if she agrees with it. So what kind of advice could you give her to, as far as this clash that she has with her art teacher?
I would say it's good to get a collection of things that inspire you. If it's an object or models or video games or any literature, movies, write them down and get a big library or collection of those references so that when you are doing a piece or an assignment, then you can pull those references that inspire you and apply those to your piece. So then at least then you're learning, but you're also enjoying the process of doing it and or expressing yourself. So within those guidelines, I would take it as almost like a challenge to not like strictly conform to it, but to find things that will push that piece further with the description that you're given, and see it as a challenge and not as a way that it defines me as an artist.
Right. Makes sense? There you go.
Yeah, it was like the other day we were doing like animals, and it was like she told us to draw like basic shapes for the animals, right? So like the cat's body was like a square, and then the arms were like rectangles and all that, right? And then we were smoothing it out and adding texture like fur and stuff like that. And I did a rat because I really like rats. And I was gonna draw like a rat because it ended up being pretty big on my paper, and I was gonna draw the scene like it on like the side of the road, right, like on the street. I actually scrapped that idea, and I ended up making it like like Ratzilla is what I called it, like a big rat with like people running down the streets away from this rat and everything, and it's like, well, yeah, there we go, that's different. That's not something you see every day, just a rat walking down the street.
That's I would say a happy accident.
Yeah.
Happy accident.
Those are the most funnest part of doing an art piece is when you have accidents like those.
Like Bob Ross always says, right? Yeah, it's
No
like
accidents.
there's no accidents.
There's no accidents.
Happy mistakes,
Happy
right?
mistakes.
Happy
correct.
mistakes. There you go. Any further questions there, MacAttack?
Do you plan to sell signed original pieces?
That would be something I would have to consider since I haven't found a place to print the pieces quite yet, but I would like to consider it.
Talk to Damian. Ask him, yeah. I'm sure, because I know he has affiliated, like where I got my sweater, and we also got, I ordered prints by him and canvases as well. So talk to him. Maybe he can be able to give you the connections to get that on the go. Yeah, because it'd be awesome. Because yeah, definitely for me to have this baboon
on a t-shirt.
on my shirt, right, and a big giant canvas on my wall, right. It's like I'm so excited waiting for his canvases to come.
I would adore
The
a
Necrolitch,
mouse on a
right? So
hoodie.
it's what's that?
Mouse on a hoodie.
Or yeah, the mouse, the Dusk Trail. Yeah, we can get it for JC for his birthday. Get him a T-shirt with the Dusk Trail on it.
Well, now you're just revealing stuff. He's probably watching this.
He'll forget by then. It's
Yeah,
JC. It's
yeah.
JC. Yeah, it's JC. It's all right. But anyway, so well,
Actually, I have a question.
sure.
Any tips on trying to like promote art, trying to get it more out there, or even like selling it and stuff like that? Any tips on that?
So I'd say I would start setting up social links, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I don't know if anybody uses Tumblr anymore, but the major social media stuff, I would definitely start accounts with them. I would say go to art conventions, meet more artists, get into those, get their business cards, to them and make connections with them. And I would say you can also participate in forums as well if there's an art community online.
Art forums online and that. Yeah, you just look them up.
Yeah.
What are those?
Basically, it's like a community of artists that either specialize in a theme or character or series, whichever one you are into. And
That's cool.
yeah, and they basically, or you can go on Discord. If there's groups on Discord, you can also check that out.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, you're always on Discord, so. Wow.
I have an Instagram account, like my whole Instagram account is like I post a lot of my art.
Yeah.
I have a separate TikTok account for like my art stuff, so I post art on there. I have Twitter, I don't post art on it. I got Facebook, I don't post art. I think I posted a few paintings that I did, like trying to sell them. I'm not outright sell my pieces. You gotta start, right? But,
Gotta start somewhere.
So that's there, yeah,
So
gotta
there
start
are
somewhere.
Facebook groups, there's Discord, there are online forums as well, groups you can participate in and join them and get to see other people's pieces and you get to share yours and they get to share theirs. So it's a win-win for both of you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we got a few comments here. So JC says woot to the shirt. And then he says his birthday just passed though.
I know it. Well, I can't order it yet. I mean, we have to wait, JC. See, he'll forget a whole year from now.
Memory of a goldfish.
What?
Memory of a goldfish.
Is the very next comment he made.
Memory of a goldfish?
He also has the Dusk Trail mouse as his little picture there on here.
A picture on YouTube.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
I had to point that out. You got fans!
Yes.
Good to hear.
Unlike his Discord one where it's the decoy, the original decoy rabbit.
I'm sure it's gonna change now.
Yeah, right?
So, Red Riot Games. Really hope I'm reading this right. I'm sorry, this comment's kind of confusing me. Best advice is to get a Steve so he walks into conventions and brings you to a Sid and says, here, show them your sketchbook.
That's actually how I met Sid.
That's how you met a Sid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Steve is my fiance,
Okay.
and we found a Sid with his Genesis booth.
Okay.
And I just walked up to him and showed him my sketchbook. Literally. So that's how we met with each other, and we had a conversation, and yeah, that's how I got into Genesis.
Yeah, that's sounds very familiar. How I met a Sid,
Yes.
right? I was vending at a convention, and yeah, I just bypassed his booth, and it's like the game out of the corner of my eye caught my attention, and I went over, and it's like, yeah, instant love, right? From there on, it's, yeah, I've been hooked to this game ever since. So
So that's where the conventions come in.
you
It's the
just
best
all you
way
had to do is just show him your sketchbook. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
And
I
awesome.
really would be interested in looking into some of these like art conventions and that, and going to see some of those.
Yeah.
Meeting other people who have like similar like interests like I do, right? Or even like showing some of like my art pieces there and that. Just imagine mushrooms and eyeballs.
Yeah.
That's like the main thing I draw.
Because then at least you would get some feedback from them, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a great feeling.
Jared S says, howdy from Texas. I like the sweater, Steve-O.
Yes. Yes. From Damian, my sweetheart there, Idris, right? Yeah. I love it. Idris is.
Sure, it won't be long before we got them baboon sweaters.
Yeah, right? I mean,
And the mouse.
I'll send it back and I'll get the baboon put on the back with Damian and Camilla's, baboon on the back. Yes, thank you so much, Damian. Yeah, I love my sweater.
Red Riot Games just commented, the best advice in getting into the art industry is to be aggressive but not abrasive, I believe that says. And put your work out there. A lot of the gigs Cam's gotten into is by getting out there.
Yes,
Yep.
that is correct. That is
Well,
correct.
I'm pretty aggressive, so I'm ready.
Just get up in their face.
He also said conventions are make art friends.
Yes, because there are people ranging from that are beginning to do art and professionals. You have a whole range of people with different art skills and levels. So it's good to see what kind of different types of artists you can find. There's so many interesting different artists that I see, and it inspires me. So I often take their business card or buy a piece from them.
I should make a little business card.
Business
I
card,
gotta
yeah.
make a logo first though. I don't got a logo yet. I don't got anything. I gotta make something like that. I know a friend of mine at school. They're really into like the art stuff, right? They draw a lot more like people and like movie characters that they really like. Like they're really into Harry Potter and they really like Ron Weasley, and so they draw a lot of him, right? Zelda too. They really like Zelda, so they draw a lot of him, right? But they started helping me with like a little like picture thing for my TikTok, because right now it's a cupcake and that doesn't really match, you know, MacAttack, right?
Well, I found like when you get into a habit of liking something that, like, or especially with drawing something that you like, right? You have a tendency to gear more towards doing that style of artwork or sticking to that. Do you find the same thing?
I do. I definitely do.
Nice. We got time for one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of a comment from Riot Games. Cam's made friends with MTG artists, etc. Simply just by sparking up a combo. A lot of artists help each other and suggest work to their clients. Like, hey, I know an artist that or like that, which is it's pretty neat. It's awesome.
Yeah. You find common ground with the other artists in that, and it has a tendency to kind of get the ball rolling, so to speak. Yeah.
I think one time I loved this person's artwork so much I sat there for about an hour just talking to them.
Yeah, I can see that. I can relate too. I met Tony Moore. So he's the artist, the original artist for The Walking Dead and comic books, right? So I got to meet him at a convention once, right? And like literally, I did not want to leave his booth, right? He signed all my Walking Dead books for me and everything because I'm a huge fan of it, and that. And I couldn't stop talking to the guy. I felt bad because everybody else is wanting to, come up and meet the guy, right? And it was so overwhelming, right? It's just to meet a well-liked artist like that. So, I mean, yeah, I could definitely see you being there one day, right? It's
definitely.
But, yeah. So I think that's about all the time we have for tonight's show.
We got one more question.
Okay.
Also from Riot Games. Question. When is Camilla going to do work on a character rather than monsters and apes? I want to see a card pack with her work.
If the list is not full yet, then I'll try to pick a different character or character to work with that's not a monster. But definitely I'll be trying to I'll be discussing with the art team to see what pieces I'm able to pick up for future projects. So I'll definitely look out for more of those pieces, and then you'll see more characters
Awesome.
in the set.
Keep your headphones on. You'll hear it eventually.
But guaranteed for sure we're going to see some of your future artwork with Genesis. We are super excited. I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to show everyone.
Right. I mean, we want to see it now. I know we can't, but we just have to be patient, I guess. But yeah, I'm so happy that you're part of the project and being able to put your
Thank you.
Your expertise of artwork into it.
I would have to also thank my art team as well. They are putting a lot of really cool pieces out there, and they're helping each other. So I'm very grateful for the effort and the love that they give to us. So thank you to the Genesis team.
Nice. Yes. Thank you, Genesis. Sid, for creating the game. Everybody that works on the project, whether it's Carl, Lionel, all of them, right? The list just goes on and on and on. JC. A.G. Miller, who's running the Future League and is now part of the design team as well. So thank you, all of you. You guys are doing an amazing job. We're going to keep playing the game because we love it so much. I mean, I just can't stop playing this game. Picked it up from day one and been playing it since. Obviously, 2019 champion right here, people. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna bring out a perfect fancy gift.
Well, yeah. Sid told me I should be promoting it, so yeah.
He totally forces me when I'm editing it to put that picture up every single time.
Right? Anyway, I think Genesis is probably the only thing that really.
I think we just crashed.
Yeah, we
Oh,
definitely
no.
just crashed.
Or at least the studio crashed, so.
Oh no.
No?
Oh, we're back.
We're back up.
yay,
Oh,
okay.
wait, yeah.
Just as you were about to do the wave
We're gonna.
ending.
Sorry, we're gonna put those technical difficulties up when we do the
Yeah,
editing,
there we
right?
go.
Yeah,
For
let's
sure.
Start that outro.
So yes, what did we miss?
Everything.
No, we really just missed the, just about when we were wrapping up. Just like.
How
the
far
last-
back do I have to
last,
go?
Like, minute or two.
Okay.
Like, you know, like immediately as soon as I saw it.
You get all the mentions?
No, you need to do all dimensions again. We
Are you-
totally, actually, I'm not even just saying it for my own benefit.
Yeah, we know your
actually
tricks.
missed all dimensions.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying before we got cut off there by the system. Yeah, thank you to the entire Genesis design team. JC, Carl, Lionel, AG Miller. He's running the Future League and is now a card designer as well. Brad and Carl again for doing the lore. All the artists, like I mean, there's so many of you. We can't thank you enough because we love this game. We're gonna keep playing it. Yeah, I can't stress it enough. So as long as you guys keep working on the projects, making the artwork. So thanks to the two guys behind the camera tonight, Richard and Colin. As always, you guys are doing an amazing job. Except for the technical difficulties, I gotta put that in. And to MacAttack, my co-host for the show. Most of all, thank you so much, Camilla, for joining us on the show. It is a huge pleasure and a very honor, like so much honor,
Yes,
to
this
have
is-
you
of
with
course.
us and
This
chat
is
about
awesome.
your artwork.
Appreciate that you invited me to come here. It was my pleasure.
Pleasure's all ours. Definitely, pleasure's all ours. Matt, thank you to Sid for creating the game. You the man. We love you with all our heart as well. Say hi to Damian. You're out there. I'm still waiting on your package. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that stream up very soon. As far as the other opening of the packaging, which when it arrives, we haven't gotten it yet. Like and subscribe to our channel. Greatly appreciate it. And
Thank you all for watching, and if you have any questions for a future video, comment down below.
any suggestions, make sure you let us know. Reach out to us. We'd definitely be happy to oblige.
And we hope you enjoyed.
So thanks for watching One Side of the Coin, and have a great night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.